Ever feel like you're leading a team that's, well, smarter than you?
Uh-huh. I think we've all been there.
Right. It's like, how do you even begin to guide a group of people who are constantly thinking 10 steps ahead?
That's exactly what we're diving into today.
We've got this fascinating text all about leading smart people,
And we're going to unpack it, find the good stuff,
the stuff you can actually use, like today.
practical strategies, not just theory.
So first things first, this text keeps hammering on this idea of collaborative leadership.
Not just barking orders, right?
Yeah, exactly. But why is that so important when you're dealing with a team of, well, brilliant minds?
Because brilliant minds, they don't want to just be told what to do.
They want to contribute, right?
Exactly. They have ideas, they have insights, they want to feel like their expertise is valued.
So how do you actually put collaborative leadership into practice?
Okay, imagine this. You're kicking off a new project. Instead of just laying out the plan, you asked your team, what's the most innovative way we can tackle this, given each of your strengths?
Okay, so you're empowering them from the get-go,
Absolutely, and you're tapping into that collective brain power.
and they feel like they're part of the solution.
Exactly. And that's what drives smart people. Ownership, challenge, the chance to make a real impact.
This makes a lot of sense.
Well,
But the source also talks a lot about emotional intelligence. And I'll be honest,
can sound a little touchy-feely.
yeah, a bit. Especially when we're talking about leading a team of super analytical, logical people.
But here's the thing. Even the most brilliant minds are still human.
They have feelings.
Exactly. They get frustrated, they have doubts, they need recognition.
So it's about recognizing those emotions.
Yes, and
Yeah.
responding to them in a way that builds trust and understanding.
Like, can you give me a concrete example?
Sure. Let's say you've got a brilliant engineer on your team, but they get easily frustrated when things hit a snag.
Happens all the time.
Instead of dismissing their frustration, you acknowledge it. You say something like, hey, I can see this setback is really frustrating. It's okay to feel that way. How can we adjust the plan together?
You're validating their feelings,
Exactly. You're showing them that you see them as a person, not just a brain.
and that builds trust.
It's huge for building trust and psychological safety.
So they feel comfortable taking risks and speaking up.
Exactly. Even if their ideas are different from yours.
And that kind of leads us to another point this text makes.
Clear communication and leading by example.
You read my mind.
Well, they go hand in hand, don't they?
This source actually has this great quote.
Let's hear it.
It says, articulating a clear vision is only half the battle. Leading smart people requires embodying that vision in every action you take.
You can't just talk the talk.
You've got to walk the walk.
Especially with smart people, they see right through BS.
Oh, I've had bosses like that.
Yeah.
All talk, no action.
And what happens?
You lose all respect, all motivation.
It's a recipe for disaster.
Speaking of setting the stage for success, the source then jumps into this idea of creating a culture of continuous learning.
Ah, yes. It's like you can't just assemble a team of smart people and expect them to magically thrive.
You need to give them the right environment.
Think of it like a garden. Even the most brilliant flowers need fertile soil, sunlight, water.
So how do you create that fertile soil for a team of smart people?
By understanding what motivates them. Smart people are curious.
They want to learn.
Exactly. They crave knowledge, they crave challenges.
So as a leader, you need to provide opportunities for them to grow.
Training programs, mentorship opportunities, maybe even dedicated time for personal development projects.
Things that help them stay sharp, engaged.
Precisely.
And isn't there something about fostering a positive culture in there too?
Absolutely. It's about creating a space where people feel supported, where they feel comfortable taking risks, and yes, where they feel comfortable having those tough conversations that lead to growth.
Because even smart people mess up sometimes.
We all do. It's how we learn and get better.
This is all great stuff.
Mm.
But I think the source's final point is perhaps the most important.
Adaptable leadership.
Bingo. There's no one-size-fits-all approach to leading, especially when you're dealing with diverse teams of smart people.
You've got to be able to read the room, understand the dynamics of the team, and adjust your leadership style accordingly.
So give me an example of how that might look in practice.
Sure. Let's say you're leading a team that's racing towards a tight deadline. You might need to be a bit more directive, a bit more hands-on.
Focused.
But if you're guiding a team through a long-term research project,
Something more open-ended.
exactly.
Yeah.
You might need to take a step back, give your team more autonomy, more space to explore and experiment.
So it's about being flexible, responsive to the needs of the team and the project.
Precisely. And recognizing that there's no one right way to lead.
Wow. This has been eye-opening. So it's not about being the smartest person in the room. It's about creating the conditions for a whole team of smart people to shine.
Well said. And here's something to think about. Even if you're not the official leader, these principles can help you influence your peers, your colleagues, anyone you're working with,
It's about inspiring and empowering those around you.
regardless of your title.
That's a great takeaway. And
That's-
for our listeners, here's a little something extra to ponder. Think about a time you witnessed truly exceptional leadership.
Oh, good one.
What made that leader so effective?
Hmm.
How did they inspire and empower their team? And how can you apply those lessons to your own work and life?
Food for thought. Until next time.
See you then.